Three friends end up in a mysterious world, where it's all women. At first, it's paradise, a dream come true. But soon, they uncover a shocking secret: if they can't escape, they'll become slaves forever. Can they make it out in time, or are they doomed? Subscribe and find out in movie All Because of Men, 2017. The story starts with a man named Armin who comes to a restaurant with his girlfriend. Unexpectedly, a man joins their table and dials his daughter's number, telling her that he has just met her fiancée, who, for some reason, forgot to mention that he already has a girlfriend. Armin is forced to flee from his would-be relative. Meanwhile, Armin's friend, Tun, returns home where his wife, Alina, is waiting. He announces that he has bought a gift for their wedding anniversary. Alina rejoices, hoping that her husband has bought a ring. However, it turns out to be a washing machine. Disappointed, Alina tells him to marry that washing machine. Suddenly, her husband notices that their shared stash of savings is missing. Alina explains that she spent the money on a dress and mentions her friend, whose husband gave her a trip to Europe for their anniversary. She then orders Tun to take out the trash. At the same time, Armin calls Tun. Tun pretends in front of his wife that his friend is incredibly jealous of their purchase. But she tells him to take out the trash and finds Armin hiding between the dumpsters. Armin hopes to lay low at Tun's place, but remembering Alina, Tun suggests they go to a cafe instead. The friends flag down a taxi driven by Tima, and the trio drives away from the house. On the way, Armin recounts an encounter with the father of one of his girlfriends and how the father found him in a restaurant. Tun advises his friend to settle down. He himself is married and brags about his marriage. He calls his wife, but Alina sarcastically tells him to marry the washing machine and hangs up. Tima tells his friends that he has a perfect relationship with his car, which he affectionately calls his Swallow. Suddenly, the car gets stuck in traffic. The guys see a pink car on the roadside and a girl trying to fix her car. She asks for their help, but they refuse and mocking her driving skills. They continue on their way until they are stopped by a patrol. It turns out that Tima's driver's license has expired. The officer orders the car to be towed to an impound lot. The guys are left without transportation and start hailing another ride. Unexpectedly, the same pink taxi pulls up. She asked them if they needed a ride. Inside the car, Tun brags about his wife, and Armin, unable to hold back, admits that they overheard what Alina said, so there's no need to idealize his marriage. Eventually, the guys conclude that all their problems are because of women. Armin dreams of a world where girls don't have brothers or fathers. Tun reflects on his wife's friend's husband, who always seems better than him. Suddenly, the driver, Sophia, amazed at their fantasies, offers to take them to a world where only women exist. Soon, they arrive at a bar, and Sophia refuses to take money from the friends, wishing them good luck. Tima leaves while Armin and Tun enter the cafe and stop in shock. Inside, there are only women, who scream with excitement upon seeing them. The guys don't understand the commotion, and soon drinks start arriving from all the tables. A waitress announces that everything here is free for them and they can relax and enjoy themselves. Stunned, Armin reaches for his phone and suddenly notices that all his male contacts have disappeared. Tun causes laughter when he asks to switch the TV to a men's soccer match. The waitress explains that there are only 3 men in the world and for a soccer game, they need at least 22 players. Remembering Sophia's words, Tun asks about the men's bathroom. The waitress apologizes, saying they never expected men to visit the bar. The guys rush outside, shocked to realize they are in a world of women. Tima suddenly appears, telling them that even the police officers here are women. Sophia approaches them again, confused by their surprise. Didn't they want to be in a world without men? They will spend an entire day in paradise where there are no annoying friends, husbands, brothers, fathers, or male police officers. However, they won't be able to photograph or record anything. Those are the rules, no evidence of the women's world. Sophia returns the keys to Tima's car, which turns out to be nearby. In this world, towing his car is forbidden since he is the only male taxi driver. While the friends rejoice, Tun feels down, unsure of how Alina will react. Sophia reassures him that in their world, only a second will pass, and no one will notice their absence. Armin suggests they make the most of their time, as such happiness may never come again. The guys rush to the car and drive around the city, enjoying all the attention. Tima starts planning the kind of fares he can charge here, while Tun asks to be taken home despite Armin's protest. Suddenly, they are stopped by a female police officer who treats men quite sternly. She orders Tima to get out of the car, but as he complies, she suddenly kisses him and runs off, apologizing for abusing her position. The trio ends up at a club where they party hard, reveling in the attention. Unexpectedly, a waitress whom Armin had flirted with earlier refuses to get acquainted, which stings his pride. When he insists, she explains that he's too arrogant and self-absorbed, then wishes him a good evening. Tun cheers up, happy that even in this world, women like her exist. The guys continue dancing and drinking until a security guard asks Tima to step outside, saying someone is waiting for him. Surprised, he goes to the door and sees Olga, the police officer. Pretending not to know her, he hides and returns to the others, reporting that the traffic cop has tracked him down. Tun eagerly supports the idea of leaving the club, desperate to get home. Armin insists they drop off their married friend and continue partying until morning. However, when the waitress brings the bill, it turns out to be huge. The rule of the club is that while the men drink and eat for free, they must pay for the women's orders. Armin suggests they stay until morning when their 24 hours will expire, but at that moment, they see men all around them. Horrified, the three rush outside where Sophia is waiting. She reveals the main condition of their visit: throughout these 24 hours, the men cannot refuse any request from women. Otherwise, they will be trapped forever in a world inhabited only by men. They had one chance to make a mistake, and they already used it. The guys empty their pockets, scraping together just enough cash to pay for their evening at the club. Tima sees Olga standing by his car. She invites him for a ride around the city, and he cannot refuse. Next day morning, Alina offers Tun any breakfast he wants, saying she's ready to do anything for her lucky husband. She suggests hosting a dinner for him and Armin, knowing it will please her husband, and then calls Armin, inviting him and asking him to bring some spices. Armin reluctantly agrees. However, when he steps outside, an elderly woman asks him to help carry her bag to her apartment. Armin has no choice but to comply. At this moment, Armin finishes mopping the floors. Seeing that the old woman has fallen asleep, he sneaks out of the apartment. Hiding in a park, he is called over by a girl, a painter, who asks him to help move her easel. To his surprise, he recognizes her as the unfriendly waitress from the bar. She introduces herself as Diana. Meanwhile, Tun and Alina are relaxing at a cafe. Tun immediately calculates how much he would have to pay for all the women present when an argument erupts. The couple has taken a table that was reserved in advance. Alina suggests leaving, and Tun eagerly agrees. Meanwhile, Armin is strolling with Diana when a group of girls asks him to retrieve their kite from a tree. Climbing up, he manages to retrieve the toy but falls. Diana takes him to a cafe. They relax, talk, and seem to fall for each other. Suddenly, Diana begins to flicker, and Armin remembers the spices. Apologizing, he runs off, promising Diana he will find her. The guys meet up and discuss their day. When Sophia arrives, she explains that only those who were in her car can return to their world. Suddenly, Armin hijacks Sophia's taxi and speeds off to find Diana, determined to take her instead of Sophia. The problem is, he doesn't know where she lives. They arrive at the grandmother's house, and she leads them to Diana's place. However, Diana refuses to open the door. The grandmother shouts up to her window, praising Armin, but Diana has a grudge toward Armin. Armin pleads for her to believe him, but she refuses to leave. The guys return to Sophia, who refuses to take them home and plans to leave alone. Armin apologizes, explaining his reasons, even offering to stay in this world forever. Sophia remains unmoved. Only when the guys fully repent does she agree to take them back. The taxi drives through the city, and at some point, they return to the normal world. The guys thank Sophia, but she pretends not to understand what they're talking about. Just then, they respond to a request from another female taxi driver asking them to help push her car. Tun buys flowers for his wife and heads home while Tima hugs a passing traffic officer. Armin begins searching for Sophia in all the places they visited in her world but without success.